it's T here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back here. Today I am doing a special video. I'm doing a one brand makeup tutorial. Drum roll please. It's gonna be Tom Ford. I do want to apologize in advance. I don't have all the products from Tom Ford because this was a very expensive video, so we're gonna make do with what we have. So this is the entire look that I created. Most of these are gonna be first impression because I've never tried it before and this is my first time buying it and putting it on my face, so you'll see and hear my thoughts and reaction to all these products, and then of course I will highlight all of the ones that is probably worth your money, or is this just a waste of money at this stage. With that being said, keep on watching to see how I got this look. So let's get started with this look. That way we're not like yapping till tomorrow. So I have some new BK Beauty brushes that I'm going to try. These are more of like their blending brush. So I'm going to use the BK Beauty 201 brush, and I'm going to dip into the palette 29 Desert Fox. I'm going to take this more light transition shade right here. I know it's just not like a whole lot, but it's gonna be a good like transition shade to just like start off. It looks like nothing, but on the eyes it's something. I don't know if you guys can see that. Does anyone listen to Millennium? Like, are you guys into those type of music? I'm actually really excited to go hang out with my sister and my best friend this weekend. I felt like it was like a very like a much needed girls weekend type of vibe. I'm gonna go in with the shade now. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I really love a good like girls weekend and like hang out with my sister and my friends. I'm definitely a family person. I love quality time whenever I can get it. Just gonna define the crease. I feel like that did nothing for my crease. I don't know if this is doing anything in my crease, but might have been just like a creamy highlighter or lid shade. So I'm actually going to dabble into this shade right here. Just lightly fluff that. I want to keep this look a little bit more mauvier, so we're just going to use this underneath the base for just a transition shade to lay down for all the cool tone. So I always really love a warmer transition shade to lay down. I'm gonna go in with the Nikki LaRose SN20. I'm going to grab this shade right here. I'm just gonna buff it all over. Get some like pink back into this look. And I'm also gonna go back in with this lighter pinkier shade right here. Just the outer edges of this. And it's okay that we're making a mess. We'll clean that up in just a second. Now, for the star of this show, I'm so excited. I actually don't know what this shade is called, but this quad is called 20 Disco Dust. And this is what she looks like. I just want a little party on my eyes right now. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Are you guys seeing that? I love a good little sparkle and glimmer. Now to tie this all together, I'm actually going to take a smaller blending brush and I'm gonna dip in a little bit of this shade. It's like a duochrome dark brown violet type of color. And I'm just going to define the outer edges slightly. We're not going for a super smoky eye. It's just to make sure the outer edges get a little bit of definition. You see that? Just a little bit of definition. Okay, now that we have some definition, I'm gonna go back in with this shade right here. Sorry, I'm just saying this shade right here because this whole entire quad is just called 20 Disco Dust. They don't have like individual shade names. Right, let's just make sure it's like just a touch. Back in with this again, just making sure we're just doing minor just to tie it all together. Back in with the glitter. This is the eye look. I didn't get an eyeliner, but I will be using my own. So let me, just to save this video some time, I'm going to put my eyelid tape and eyeliner on, and then I'll be back. I also do think that this look needs some lashes, so I'll get some falsies on as well. But just to save this video some time, a lot of the product that will be eyeliner, mascara, etc. is not going to be from Tom Ford. So I do want to just make sure that you guys are aware of that. So I have my liner and some mascara on. I also have some lashes on. This time I used the Ardell 421. I cut it in half. And then for the liner, I've actually really been loving this like Wet n Wild Skinny Breakup Proof. This is from my Wet n Wild full face that you guys will probably never see because the video is goners. I know I just did a February fails misses, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it. So I do have the Tom Ford Architecture Soft Matte. Now I've had this in my collection for some time now. This is the Soft Matte Blurring Foundation in 5.5 Bisque. It might be expired, so for the sake of this video, I will take this hit, but just know, go buy yourself something that is still fresh and not expired. I spent a lot of money on this, for all the stuff for this video, so I just couldn't get myself to spend $100 on a foundation at this time. So we're gonna use an expired one from my collection. So this one I don't use as often. I should have, and it's such a waste, but also it's because this is not like cheap is why I don't use it as much as I should, and it's now gonna be just going into the trash because it's expired. So let's just put this on. Ooh, it's a little yellow. Was it always this yellow? Well, it matches my neck, so we're just gonna roll with this. So this foundation, wow, I forgot how nice this looks. The color, the shade aside, this is like one of your like velvety, soft, matte foundation. It's gonna dry and look matte very fast. So if you want a little bit more dewy glow, this might not be your go-to. Because of my oily skin, I tend to have always gravitated towards matte foundation, and this is like really matte. She's very matte, and you don't have a lot of time to blend, so once you put it down, work fast because it's gonna be matte. It'll dry instantly. Wow. I mean, it's pretty similar to my neck, so we're just gonna lighten this up. This is definitely yellow, a lot more yellow. Does pull warmer, so on me it's kind of looking a little oompa loompa, but this will give you a full matte coverage. I feel like I am a lot paler than I used to be as well too. Okay, now that we look like Oompa Loompa, she's orangey. So let me just put on some concealer just to like tone this down. Oh, just a touch. Now this is definitely not my shade anymore. Still testing and using my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush concealer. So I haven't had my final thoughts yet. So I've been trying it with like multiple different foundation, the ones that I absolutely love, and of course ones that I haven't picked up in a while, just to see how it's performing so that we have a fair assessment with it. Give me some time and I will update you. All right, now that I have some concealer on, I'm like balancing this yellow craziness I have on. I'm gonna go in with and this was my first introduction to Tom Ford. This has been used. I don't use it all the time. I only use it for like special occasion when I'm like, want to be very fancy schmancy, which is gonna be today. So I'm gonna grab my bronzing brush and go into this shade right here. start tapping it in areas that I would like to bronze. Go back in with the foundation brush as well, just to make sure that everything is blended and diffused. This like really sculpts you. This gives you like color right off the bat. It's making me snap. I'll snap. Go back in with the concealer with any leftover product. Just clean right underneath that line. You see that? Just clean. Because sometimes I blend it out a little too crazy. Now that we have that down, I want to get this highlighter shade. I want to put it like underneath the blush and everything. That's what I usually use it for. Now I'm going to take this to put it right underneath for an underglow here. So now that's down. I don't have a blush, but I really wanted to use one of these as a blush. So I have 3 of the Tom Ford lip balm. So it's gonna be super creamy and shiny. So I have 2 of their lip balm and the other one is the Ultra Shine lip color. So I'm going to open all of them. So I have Escapist, Nude Coast, and Jet Set. So they're in different packaging. The Nude Coast one, you guys have already seen it. I got it from a Sephora sale. And these 2 are the Soleil Balm. The packaging is amazing. So there are like these 2 are very different. This is more of a balmier shade, balmier formula. Sorry, I don't know why I just had a brain fart. So this is the Soleil lip balm in a Escapist. So let me swatch. Escapist. It's more of like a pinky orangey shade. That looks so good. And then the other one is Jet Set. So let me swatch Jet Set. Jet Set is more orangey than pinky. I might just go with Escapist today. The more pinkier shade than the orangey one. So, since this is a balm, it's going to be very blendable, very creamy. And I'm going to grab my dirty brush and just tap it in. That's really pretty. And directly put it onto my face. Get this blush going. Remember, with makeup, you can use your lipstick as blush. So you have that cohesiveness and you don't have to try to match your blush to your lips. You can do whatever you want. I like to run it over my nose. So let me just grab a little bit to run over my nose. And of course, this is more for like the lip and it's a more balm texture and formula. So I'm going to take some time to build this up and I'm gonna go back in after I've powdered as well. So this is gonna be what this blush looks like on. So I'm gonna close this up and I'm gonna set down the under eyes. I'm gonna grab my L'Oreal Infallible in Blurfection. I just don't have a Tom Ford loose powder, so this will have to make do for the time being. So we're just gonna set this down. Now, I don't want to set too much because everything is very matte. The foundation is very matte. The under eyes, the concealer is also very matte. So I do have a powder bronzer that I'm super excited for. And when I bought this, I was, for some reason, I expected it to be bigger. Like just for size comparison, this bronzer is like so small. I thought this was something else, to be honest. And when I opened it up, and I've opened some of these up, this is what the bronzer looked like. It might be too light, but this was their darkest shade. So we shall see about that. So I'm just gonna grab fluffy brush and pick this up. Just lightly bronze everywhere. I don't need to bronze right now because the foundation was dark and then like It was just the foundation didn't need more bronzer. Like if this was a lighter foundation, then yeah, I would say do that. The foundation is already dark, so I feel like I don't need a lot of bronzer. So I just wanted to put this on. I've never tried it before, so I will keep you guys posted. We're gonna take a quick pause on the face and start smudging out the lower lash line just a little bit. I'm gonna go back in with this 29 Desert Fox and take one of these matte shades and just stamp it down. I usually don't like to have a lot of eyeshadow under my eyes, but I try to make an effort and put the tiniest bit and connect them so that it doesn't look naked. And I also really want to go back in and just like highlight my inner corner with the shade that we put on our lid. I feel like this would just make it pop even more and graze it lightly. And that's so gorgeous. So pretty. Okay, we should be done with the eyes now, and we're gonna move on to finishing up the face. I have a few products here. I do have a powder highlighter. This is the Soleil highlighter, and I just love this like gold packaging that they have for their Soleil collection. So I'm have in the shade O2 Oasis. So it's more like this golden shade. I don't know how it's gonna look, but the shade that I really wanted was sold out. So, and this is so pretty. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. For some reason, I thought this would be like a lot lighter. You guys could see that. Wow, I'm definitely got some glow. This is definitely a more golden yellow base type of shade. It's not like your frostier one. So this is what the highlighter looks like. I want to fix my brows a little bit. I just feel like with all the blending and such, just do a little bit just to bring some life back into this brow. All right. I did purchase a brow gel. This is the Tom Ford Eyebrow Laminator Voluminize. Like, I think this is clear. I could be wrong. We shall see. I'm pretty sure it's clear. This is the packaging. Tom Ford's packaging, like this chocolate brown with the gold, is so timeless and so classy. Yes, well, I was gonna say it's clear, but it's a little white. So we would just give this a try. It says brow laminator, so I'm expecting the brows to like really stick up. It dries down clear, so don't be scared by it. I mean, like, it doesn't go on as white as the Iconic London. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but the Iconic London brow gel that I've been using, this definitely does apply a little bit white, but then it dries really fast. I'm just gonna fluff my brows up with this. So this is what my brows look like with that brow gel. There's a few like white highlights on this, so we'll just like let it fully dry before we, knock on it. Okay, let's stop there. I'm going to wipe off my lip balm from previously. I don't have a lip liner from Tom Ford, but you don't need a Tom Ford lip liner. I feel like they're like really expensive right now. So I'm going to take this Refi Opal Blur lip liner. I've been really loving the Blur lip liners because I find that they don't need so much precision. Now that that is on, I'm gonna go in with Hue from Makeup by Mario and define my Cupid's bow. And then contour the bottom. Take the back of this, just blend it into the lip. This is like my little trick to make my lip liner last a little bit longer. And then we shall go into the lip This is the shade Nude Coast. I've used this before. It's such a pretty shade. It's like a sand, creamy, shiny nude that's very comfortable. This is what Nude Coast looks like. And before I do the final step, I'm gonna go back with Hue. So important to sandwich the lipstick into the lip liner. I'm almost done, I promise. Last but not least, we're going to go in with the Tom Ford Gloss Luxe. This is in the shade 09 Aura. Oof, look how pretty this shade is. So let me just swatch it before I put it onto my lip. It's just one of your like nude, like a pinky nude shade. So I'm not gonna put this all over my lip. I'm just gonna, because everywhere is already shiny, I'm just gonna touch this right at the center right there and just blend it a little bit. All right, my lips look so juicy right now. All right, I'm gonna put my hair down and we will have the final look. Alrighty guys, this is the final look. Everything, well, not everything, a few things that I didn't have from Tom Ford, but this is the final look of everything that I tried from Tom Ford. This is an almost full face of Tom Ford Beauty only. So let's just review really quickly of all the different types of products that we had here. I want to start this off with like, this is amazing. This, like, I want to just, give me one second. I just want to open this. Where's the one? I just want to give a quick shout out to their eyeshadow quad. This is what I have on my eyes. Everything for this look, majority this palette in O2 Disco Dust and Desert Fox for a lot of the transition shade. This gave me such a gorgeous eye look. It's so pretty, it's so creamy. I just feel like I have such a pretty eye look right now from this. So this is definitely really good. If you were to pick anything out of everything that I tried today, check out the eyeshadows. The eyeshadows are just the color quad. Like, you can definitely just purchase one and have a complete shadow look for sure. Like, there's like your transition, there's your lid color, and then there's your brow bone color as well. So that's for the eyeshadow. Now let's go into the foundation. I have a lot to say about their foundation. I want to give some grace here, is that, so just so you guys are aware, this has been in my collection for a very long time. I don't even know if Tom Ford actually still sells it. And just for the sake of making this video a little bit more affordable for me, because I purchased all this on my own with my own hardworking money. So I just want to have a little bit of grace that this has been in my collection for well over a year. It's probably expired, and I probably had this when I was a lot tanner, when I was like going outside, seeing the sun. Now I work indoors a lot. I'm on the computer a lot. So given that, this shade is too orange yellow for me, and it's super matte. As an oily girl, I love the matte of this, but if you just take, like, come closer, you'll see around my nose, it's grabbing to every single patch and it dries super quickly. So there's not a lot of time for you to make any mistakes. Now, if you're like super oily, you may love this. I'm oily, so I'm pretty sure within like an hour or two, this will like all like not be as mattifying. But right now, I just really would love to have something a little bit dewier, a little bit more sand to matte finish, not like fully like matte finish. Overall, this is a really good foundation. It's just, I want to give it some grace that if you prep your skin well and you moisturize and everything, I'm pretty sure it will work for you. For me, I just have fallen in love with more of a satiny to matte finish. And for dry skin girlies, again, as long as you do the proper prep, this will not look so dry on you, but I can guarantee this is not going to give you any dew whatsoever unless you do something to it to make it dewy. So long rant about this foundation. So this one, I definitely will have to let it exit my collection because A, it's so expired at this stage, and B, it's definitely not my shade anymore. Next, let's go over bronzer that I put on my face, and I wouldn't say it's a bronzer, it's more of a contour and illuminating duo. This is so buttery. It's like, and it's gonna be very scary when you first apply it, so, but don't worry, it's very easy, it's very blendable. So this is the shade 02 Intensity. I used the cream highlighter underneath all of this, so I have like a glow within type of look. Like, I really try to make that matte foundation work for me, so it doesn't look like I'm just like solid matte and have no life to me. The bronzer, well, it's not bronzer, it's more of like bronzer contour. It's more contour than anything. It can sculpt you out. The only thing is it's gonna look a lot dark on me in the try-on because the foundation was really dark, really yellow, like a lot more than my own complexion. And then for the blush, I actually use their lip balms. This is their Soleil lip balm. I use the shade Escapist. So this is more of your pinkier shade. I know it looks like super orange in the tube, but it's like a pinky. It does have a little bit, it's more like a coral, I want to say, like a darker pinky coral. This is what I have as a blush. I didn't use this as lipstick today or lip balm today. I just used it all over my cheeks, and it gives me like this like glow for blush. Again, I didn't purchase a blush, so I was just utilizing what was here today. And then for highlighter, this highlighter is a little too golden for me, but it does work. It doesn't really like show up yellow like I'm taking a look in the mirror. So it looks really scary in the pan at first. So this is a little darker than I would like, and let me just swatch it for you so you can take a look. So this is what it looks like on my hand, and then this is what it looks like swatch. It definitely has like a peachy golden yellow base. It's not as frosty as I would like it to be, so there is a base color to it. So this is what I have. I put it all over just so that I have a little bit more dew and glow. And then for lips, I already had in my collection previously. This is the shade Nude Coast in the Ultra Shine lip color. This is like a nudie, pinkier mauve shade. So this is what it looks like, a more nude pink mauve. And then I topped it off with this nude gloss called Aura, A-U-R-A. I'll link it down below. 09 Aura. This is what I've topped it off with, and I'm just gonna show you. I also swatch this in the video as well. So this is the lip combo that I currently have on right now. And then for brows, I did not have a brow pencil or anything, but I did use this brow gel. This is very similar to the Iconic London's, like their brow laminator or something. This is also called brow laminator. This, you know, it's good. Is it worth the money? I'm sure you can find anything in the drugstore for this, so you don't need to spend money on a very expensive brow laminator. In my opinion, it's gonna do the same thing. I don't find that it's anything crazy, if you know what I'm trying to say. So this is the powder bronzer. This is like their matte bronzer, but it says glow. I didn't see any glow in this. Sorry, it's really hard. I don't see any glow. Do you guys see any glow? It's like such a matte shade. Like, am I just tripping? Because this looks pretty matte. Like, this does not look glowy at all. It looks very matte. So this is their glow bronzer in the shade 02 Terra. This is their darkest shade. which is a little bit concerning. I wanted to say that. So I have this to set down that Balm contour bronzer shade from previously, so that's what I have here. I would like to try this alone on another day where I'm just wearing a foundation that is not this one. So there's my thoughts on that. I'll keep you guys posted. So that is everything on my face today. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out, and watching me. If you would like to see more of these one branded type of makeup, luxury or drugstore, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you are doing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye now. Mwah.